Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal struggles, having borderline personality disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression. I talk about narcissism, schizophrenia, all about my unethical psychologist that I've had sex with for years, and a plethora of other mental health related topics, but I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I'm not a licensed therapist. I don't hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you. All I ask in turn of you is your kindness and respect, please, in the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Be sure to share my video with all your friends, your family, and on your social media platforms. The links to all these books are down below in the description. They're all available on Amazon, so you can purchase them. I want to hear from you. I want to know all about you in the comments. Please feel free to share your struggles, and let's dive into it. First of all, I have to give a big shout out and thank you to Daphne Reloaded. I'm going to put the link to her channel. This is an awesome chick. This chick doesn't hold back anything. She dishes it up just as it is, unabashedly, very candidly, very honestly. She doesn't sugarcoat anything, okay? And I really admire a woman like that, okay? No sugarcoating. She just comes out and she says it like it is. This is how I operate too. I say it like it is. And I need to thank her very, very much, because she just put out a video about borderline personality disorder, and she described my book. She gave a book review of this book, Love Bomb, by a Harvard psychologist. She reviewed this book on her channel, and she also talked a lot about borderline personality disorder. And you did a great job, Daphne. I love you. I love you. And what I'm going to do is, this is my response to her video on borderline personality disorder. I love this girl because she's just so honest, you know? Like, she doesn't hold back. She's saying how, this is what I want to respond to. She's saying how people with borderline personality disorders are a-holes because they act like 3-year-olds. I love what she said. I was like, man, like, she's spot on. But I want to go deeper into when she said that people with borderline personality disorders are acting like 3-year-olds. They have temper tantrums. They can really be a-holes. That is 100% true. Okay? I'm a borderline. I've been one for almost 60 years. I do act like an a-hole. I do have temper tantrums like a 3-year-old. But I'm going to go deeper and explain to you why that is. She also said that she thought her mother might have had borderline personality disorder too. I'm going to give you the link to her video. You have to watch it. She's totally rad. She's awesome. And that girl, just like I said, she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And this is what I admire about her, okay? Now, let's go into the part where she said borderline personalities are a-holes, and they act like 3-year-olds. I'm going to explain why that is from my perspective, through my experience. I can only talk about my experience because other people with this disorder might have different experiences. I think I was brutally... I'm so afraid. I got a warning on my YouTube to say these things, so I have to be careful what I say. Let's just say mistreated when I was a little girl. My father walked out on me and my narcissistic mother. He left me with her. She was narcissistic. Look up narcissistic, and I've talked about narcissism in other videos, so you'll know exactly how they are. I mean, borderlines can act narcissistic too. I think that Daphne touched upon that too, and that is true, Daphne. So between the ages of, 1 and 3, this is when these things happened to me, when my father walked out and when my mother mistreated me. I'm just saying that lightly because I'm afraid that I've got a warning on my YouTube about saying inappropriate things, so now I've got to tread very softly. This is why I was stunted and why I have temper tantrums. I want you to imagine this. I love using analogies because analogies help me. And if they help me, they might be able to help other people too understand something that is hard to understand. Why does that person act like that, you know? Why they always, you know? I'm going to try to explain it through this analogy. If you were put in a closet, okay, at 3 years old, 2.5, 3, whatever you are, in the dark and locked up, and people just fed you so you would survive. They fed you food and water and did all the things. You had shelter, you were in a dark closet, did all the things to keep your body alive, but not your soul, not your spirit. They killed that. They took that away from you. They hijacked that. And then years and years later, say you're 20 or in your 20s, someone comes out and opens that closet. Now, you've had no contact with the outside world. All you know is from inside that dark closet. And you were put there at 3 years old. Now, how do you think you would respond in the real world, coming out of the closet? Since you've been in there since you were 3, you would respond like a 3-year-old because you had, the only thing that grew on you is your body, because they fed you water, they fed you liquid and gave you food and gave you the things that will allow your body to grow. But they didn't do anything with your mind. They didn't do anything with your spirit. They didn't do anything with your emotions. So you're in the body now of an adult, like Daphne's mother and like me, okay? I'm a mother too. There was consequences. My son has deep anxiety, depression. There's a lot of consequences for being the child of a borderline parent, okay? I feel for you, okay? I really do, because it's not easy, all right? So we come out, but we're stunted. So how can you, I love when she said, you just have to accept, you know, with grace, that this is how this person is. This person isn't, you know, capable of being another way. And I want to explain why that is, okay? Because I was stunted at that age, okay? I was that child locked in that closet, not given any emotional nourishment, not given any intellectual nourishment. I wasn't given anything except the bare necessities to survive. All right? That's why I grew physically. My body grew, but mentally I did not grow, okay? That's why I act like a 3-year-old, because I'm stunted. I was put in a situation where I could not grow mentally. I could not grow emotionally, because I wasn't given any intellectual, I wasn't given any emotional love. I wasn't given anything. I was just given the basic necessities for my body to grow. So I come out of that closet and get married and have children, you know, like Daphne's mother had Daphne. But I don't know anything about Daphne's mother. I'm just telling you how I am and how I think that might have happened to her mother. I don't have any facts. I'm not pretending to. But now that I'm out of that closet that I was put in since 3 years old, I don't know anything. I've never lived an adult life. I was, you know, shut down at 3. I was shut. You're stunted at the age you were, you know, cut off. All right, so if you were badly mistreated at age 10, then you're probably going to be emotionally a 10-year-old. See what I'm saying? For me, it was when my father walked out on me and left me behind with a narcissistic mother. Narcissistic people are pretty bad. And you know, they can never admit it. They're narcissistic. They're delusional. They can never admit they're narcissistic. that's another whole story, you know. But this is what happened to me, and this is why I act like a 3-year-old, and have temper tantrums and behave like that, because, you know, I was never nourished emotionally, or I was never, you know, nourished other than the basic survival. And that's negligence. It's a lot of things that I can't say, because YouTube is batting down the hatches on me of not being able to, you know, come out and say these things outright to you. But that is why I behave, you know, having temper tantrums, not knowing any better, because I never learned. See, children are sponges, okay? And it's not only children, too. It's adults are sponges, too. You are who you associate with, even as an adult. It's not just, especially children, though. But if you're an adult and you hang around with bad people, you'll become a bad person. You are who your friends are, okay? Ever hear that saying? You are who your friends are. So if you hang around with, you know, because people rub off on other people, okay? So if you hang out with intellectual people who talk about, you know, great ideas and talk about books and everything, then that's going to rub off on you. If you hang around with drug addicts who just don't work and just sit around, you know, watching horror movies or smoking weed and do nothing, then that's going to rub off on you. So it's not just children, it's adults too. So that's what I'm saying, that, you know, as parents, we have to emulate good behavior for our children. And that was never in my household, okay? My mother had fits left and right. I emulate, I'm a product of my parents. Not just hereditary, but the way I was raised, okay? I'm a product of what I saw. I learned from what I saw. My mother would throw things. She'd scratch and leave scars on me and my father. She'd have meltdowns. She'd swear at me. She'd curse at me. She would mistreat me very, very, very badly. So this is what I grew up with. And I was locked in my bedroom. My toys were thrown away. So this is what I learned. So when I go out into the world, this is what my model is. You know, this is what I was, these are the people who I modeled myself after. So, you know, that's why, this is why I am the way I am. Now you could say, well, you can, you know, you're an adult now. You don't have to be that way. A lot of people can say that and say, you know, you can change. You don't have to be that way. Your parents are dead now. What excuse do you have? Very true. You can say that. But this has been embedded in my DNA. This has been embedded in my personality, who I've, you know, it's very hard to take all those years, decades, okay? And my parents both died when I was 38. Like 38 years. It's very hard to undo 38 years. I tried, okay? I tried. I went to therapy for almost 20 years. I went to different therapists. I went to men. I went to women. I went to young ones. I went to old ones. I went to black ones. I went to European ones. I mean, I just didn't go to one kind. I tried everything, and they all failed me, okay? I really tried earnestly to get the help to undo all the damage that my parents did to me, all right? And it didn't work. I got re-traumatized in the therapy. And, you know, a lot of these books, if these are the best ones, I'd say. The Emails, The Love Bomb, Life with My Schizophrenic Father. If you want a juicy book, go read this one. Sexually Exploited by 3 Psychologists. Read the review. I don't know who reviewed that, okay? There's a 5-star review on this book. Read the review. I don't know the person. at all. So it isn't like a friend of mine wrote a review or something. And another, this is the whole story, this one here. This is how Dr. 𝗤𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗲 looked, just like that. Okay? Love Outside the Boundaries. Read this book. This is very juicy. I think these two books, you know, and also, yeah, I've written several books, and like she said, Daphne, you're not going to find these books in a bookshelf or a library. Yes, they're all unedited. I did not have the money for an editor. Editors cost thousands of dollars. And then not only an editor, you need an agent, because no one's going to touch your book. Nobody. Unless you hire an agent. An agent is a person, the go-between person to get your book formally published. I can't just put a manuscript on any publishing house's door. They're going to throw it away. Okay? They have agents that seek out good manuscripts. And without that, you know, and then agents cost, you're going to have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, okay? So I do it this way. I try to get out my word this way, and Daphne's right, what she said. What is the bottom line? You know, in these books, graphic sex is in these books, graphic. And the bottom line is, don't mess with your shrinks, okay? Don't flirt with them. Don't date them. Don't have sex with them. Don't get involved with them. Don't be their friend. They're trained doctors that are supposed to help you get mentally better. All right? Just like I broke my leg, I would go to the doctor to get my leg cast, to heal my leg, right? I wouldn't go there, you know, I'm going there for my leg. Not my tits or not my ass. Okay, I'm going there for my leg. You get the point? So they're only supposed to be working on my leg and no other body parts. These doctors are psychologists. They're only supposed to be working with your mind, no other body parts. Anyway, I hope I explained it somewhat all right. Thanks again, Daphne. I think you did an awesome job on the review. I'll leave the link to that video down below, all right, in the description. You all make sure to watch that, comment on that, let me know what you think about that, comment on this one. Let's have an ongoing discussion. Let's build this community between us. I think it's great. Thanks again, Daphne. Go join her channel. She's an awesome chick. All right, until next time, take care.